Good morning, gang. Good morning. Welcome to today's Bitcoin update. First and foremost, big shout out to Prime XBT. Thank you for sponsoring today's video. If you don't know who Prime are, check the links out down below. Obviously on Prime, as we've said before, you can trade cryptocurrencies, forex, commodities, stock indices. I'm going to be producing a video on these guys shortly because a few of you have been asking for that. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And if you want up to a $7,000 deposit bonus, check the codes out down in the description, and you can also get 25% off trading fees as well by using our second code, and you can use them both together. All right, guys, as usual, nothing discussed today is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just for educational purposes only, and it's my view of the markets. Right, where are we? Well, we're still in the month of November, and it's still not looking great, but again, like we always say, it's not a death sentence. Let's see what happens. But obviously the monthly's still down, the weekly is still down. Obviously we did get a new close down here, and the daily is now teetering on the edge. So obviously we did close on a new low. We did slightly swing fail the last lows that were created on the 9th of November, and we did swing fail in that on pretty much all exchanges. And now we see if the bulls have got enough strength to now create potentially a new high and maybe look at changing structure. But obviously for now, you know, this is just a pullback and potentially for more continuation. But let's wait and see. You know, right now we're range bound. So let's have a deep dive and look into it. Obviously, we know that we've left this old range here that we're in for quite some time, and now effectively we've formed a new range. So as we did last week, throw on a quick volume profile of this range so far, and we can see we're hovering around the point of control. Now, anyone that follows us on Twitter knew that when price was down here, we were tweeting at the time, we were saying, look, if price can get back into value, then I'd be looking up at this point of control initially. Now, this did provide a couple of decent intraday / scalp shorts. A few of the guys in the group caught that, and it was quite good to see, and we saw a few guys on Twitter as well catching the same move. Obviously, we had, zooming out a little bit onto the 1 hour, we had the Fed minutes last night, which then created another spike, and at the time we were trading this little range that we had going on, which was quite entertaining to watch. We're trading this little range. Let's remove this volume profile so we can see it easy. Obviously we've got this big spike up, we took out these highs, ran these stops, and then pulled it straight back down. So obviously if you were getting FOMO up here when you were longing up here because you were trying to chase a dildo, then you're just an idiot, aren't you? You know, control your FOMO. You know, just because you see a fast moving candle, it doesn't mean you have to chase it. Because if you do end up chasing it, stop and think, oh, this is probably going to go against me. You know, when we are in a full-blown bull market, you might get away with shit like that. But when we're in a sideways and down market, you're not going to get away with stuff like that. All you're going to be is someone else's liquidity from the other side. Okay? So that's that. And then obviously through the night, then we've had a push up. And we've had a pull back. Now, what did we have a push up to? Well, quite simply, if we throw an overall range on this entire thing, we pushed up into the EQ. Perfect test of the EQ. And then we've had a slight pullback. Now, is that a pullback to mean it's game over and we're down? We don't know. Let's wait and see. Or is this just a sensible take profit for anyone that was long from down here? And then we're carrying having a push up. Well, let's see what could happen, shall we? Right, well, first things to know is something that we have been looking at in the group is this channel here. We have been trading this channel. Let's just put it on so it fits a little bit better. Obviously, price action is never perfect, but when we get it on like this, we can see we've got respect around the EQ, we've got respect at the lows, we've got respect to the highs, and obviously, as of today, we've broken out of this channel. Now, does this mean it's breakdown and full-on reversal? No, it doesn't. It just means that this channel's potentially this trend is starting to get a little bit weaker. Okay, but it doesn't mean that it can't go up, because what we could see is, you know, something quite simply like, obviously we've had this peak, we could potentially have a third peak, so this could come up, take out these highs, take out this liquidity, and then come back down. And then obviously you get everyone then screaming head and shoulders like they do, but obviously from that it would just be quite simply a 3 drives pattern. So it's one thing to look out for, and you know, other people might consider that as a failed rally, which is absolutely fine. If it does keep going with momentum, then first thing to note is if we throw that same volume profile back on, obviously we've got a value area high just above it, so it's something to note. Now obviously if we are trading that 3 drives pattern, realistically you'd be looking somewhere, funnily enough, around that value area high. So something to be aware of. If it gets above that, then we do have another region just above here where we've got let's throw it on a fib retracement. We've got the golden pocket up here. Let's make this a little bit cleaner. Something to be aware of. And then above that, we do have a bit of a zone which ties into the old June lows, which obviously is the old range that we were trading. So let's just draw on this. So obviously these June lows are from this old range here. So something that we need to be aware of is that level there. So anywhere within there, let's draw on a box. We like our boxes. Anywhere within here, personally, I'm probably going to be looking for shorts. Now, could it continue up and blast out of here? Yes, it could. It could. You know, what we've got to think of is what's the probabilities. So if we do come up here and we reclaim the EQ, reclaim the value area high, and we'll get up to this level, if we don't see any reaction here, then all we do is we wait, see if we get a reclaim in there, maybe up to this level, up to the actual range highs. Now realistically for me, how I trade, I'd love to take out the liquidity of those highs, back down, and there you go. Obviously still being aware of these June lows because they could act as support. If you break back through it and retest it, it could act as support. Not saying it will, not saying it won't, it's just something to be aware of. So obviously, is this a trade that you're then going to be trading down to whatever moon doom targets we've got further down? No, I mean it could be, but it also could turn around here. It could turn around here. It could turn around just below. You know, you're just playing it level by level, and if you can actively manage your trade, this is the beauty of it, is if you see a really good reaction and a lot of buying come off any of these levels, start pushing price back up, then you just close out your trade. Simple. You know, if you are trading up here and you catch a level up here, it's something to be aware of. You know, if you catch a level up here and say you do catch a great short entry, let's throw on a short position, so that you get something like this. And so that ultimately your final target, you target in the low of the range. Let's say that as an example. All right. So you get your entry and it's great, and then you're moving down. And so you come below the June lows, but then you see this deviate back in, back out, and starts moving up. Well, if you start to see that and you start to see the sign of strength and the market structure break to the upside, then you're not going to sit on this position and wait to get stopped out. Why would you do that? Why would you risk that in the first place? You know, what's the point? You know, if you start seeing some strength to the opposite side and it just continues maintaining this uptrend without any structural break, then why are you holding on to a trade? You know, I was saying to the guys in the group, and we were actually publicly saying it on Twitter, when you are in an uptrend like this, and it's been a decent uptrend that we've been looking at. It's been a decent uptrend so far. You know, as we say, it's starting to weaken off now, but there's no harm in shorting set levels against the trend. The key is just don't overstay your welcome. You've got to recognise is the fact that we've not really lost any structure on the way up. Yeah, on the really low time frames, your 1 and 5 minutes, yeah, they were losing structures, absolutely fine, but it wasn't following through onto a higher time frame. It was still maintaining that bullish structure. So while it's doing that, these are just scalp positions. You can still go against the trend, but you need to know what you're doing. You need to be doing it at key levels, or looking for significant things. For example, you know, the Fed meetings last night. We had a great swing failure pattern of these highs. Great shot. Great risk to reward. Played it back down, take profits, and then see what happens. You know, do you have to take 100% out of your profits? No, you could probably take, 50, 75% out. And then if you do get a full-on change of structure back down, and look for a lower high, and just add back in. That's how you should be trading. Obviously, it comes down to whatever strategy you're doing, but obviously, just the only thing that I'm looking at up here is, you know, is this, you got to think, is this a good time to long? No. Is this a good time to long? No. Why would you long into a moving candle that's up? You know, as price moves up, you're either looking to take profits on longs or you're looking for shorts. As price moves down, you're looking to take profits on shorts or look for longs. Simple. You know, coming down here, loads of people shorting this. Well, why would you short into an old low? You know, that's currently capping the market right now. This is obviously what's holding up Bitcoin. You know, shorting the range lows just doesn't make sense. Looking for longs down at the range lows, now that makes sense. Especially when you start to see the order flow and you start to see the absorption that was happening. In fact, the absorption that was happening down here, where these guys were selling, and there's quite clearly some larger limit orders absorbing all this market selling, and then that pushed price up. So for me personally, this is where I managed to take a long. Didn't manage to take a long down here. Managed to take a long here. I've still got a little bit left in that trade, and I'm just trading at level to level. If I get a decent pullback, like this, then I'll look to add back in. So that's all it is, it's level to level. Right, so obviously, that's the current range that we're in right now. Now what happens if it does just break out and up? Well, if it breaks out and up, quite simple. So on our volume profiles, then we'll be looking back up to this old value area low / this point of control. You know, so anywhere between 19,160, call it, and 18,900, all fair game. You'd be looking for a reaction off that because we've left this old range, and then when you come back to this old range, if you manage to get to the point of control, it'll act like a magnet, and chances are you'll get a decent reaction off it. Now, is that a big reaction to new lows? We don't know, but you'd be looking for a reaction. If it gets above that, then ultimately I'll be looking for a bit more continuation, likely up to this level. Take out these highs and get back up to the original area that everyone was waiting for, which was up here. Okay? If no reaction there, then we just trade back up for the top of the range. Okay? Just level to level. If price breaks down, obviously we've discussed this several times before. If price does break down, then we do have some intraday levels on the way down. Where's my volume profiles gone? Why is it when you're looking for something you can't see it? Volume profiles, here we go. So, obviously if price does break down, as we've said before, we do have some intraday levels on the way down that could give us potential bounces. You know, we've still got this level, which obviously a lot of people do seem to have eyes on it still. Let's look at this. Let's call this a key level. And obviously this is coming in around 14k, 13.9. Zoom in. So it's something to be aware of. We may get a reaction around here. But obviously, ultimately, if that doesn't hold, then I'll be looking back down towards this value range here. So, like we've said a few times, you know, does it get a bounce off the value area high? Or does it get acceptance back into it? Maybe a swing failure and back out? Or does it come down lower? We just play it level to level. So obviously there's quite a lot of drama again on Twitter and across YouTube. You know, people starting to get aggressive at each other again, which is standard bear market vibes. You know, who's wrong, who's right, who cares? Who cares? We're just trading level to level. Stay out of the drama, stay out of the noise. Don't let it affect your decisions. Just trade it. Okay? Next little announcement. Obviously, if you guys want to trade along with us, then first and foremost, go over to our website and enter our free Discord. You'll also notice in our free Discord, we've got a Black Friday sale on at the moment. Now, this runs out tomorrow evening, so there's less than 48 hours left. And if you use code Black Friday 20 at checkout, then you can get 20% off all of our pricing plans, whether that's the 1 month plan, the 3 month plan, or the 6 month plan. So yeah, head on over to our website. You'll see this little annoying pop-up as well. Our free Discord link is here, or you can also find it in our Twitter bio. And as I say, if you do want to come over to the Copilot section, learn to trade with us, how we trade volumes and SR levels, fibs, harmonics, read order flow, then obviously you can learn all that with us, with our extensive video library, which is effectively all here, gets added to. This Tuesday just gone, we just had another chat and chill stream, where I mapped out my local trade ideas and also my high time frame swing ideas, which also includes where there's likely areas for a bottom for Bitcoin. So obviously if you want to find that out, then come over and check out our website. If you don't follow us on Twitter, then links down below. We do a lot of shit posting on there, but we also share some ideas and a few trades. And that's about it. So thanks once again for sponsoring today's video, Prime. Links down in the description. And if you enjoyed today's content, don't forget to hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell notification so you don't miss another video. Alright guys, as you were, bye bye.